When disaster strikes, blackouts, natural disasters, even full-blown societal collapse, people always miss the same critical things. Not the flashy survival gear, not MREs, bug-out bags, or bullets. I'm talking about everyday household items you ignore until they're gone. Here's the hard truth. When the system crumbles, it's not the gear you see in survival videos that'll save you. It's the simple, overlooked stuff no one talks about. Until it's too late. And trust me, the regret hits hard when you realize you had it, but didn't keep it. Today, I'm breaking down 9 unexpected items that seem useless now but will be absolute lifesavers and top-tier barter gold when everything goes dark. If you're tired of recycled prepper advice and want a real edge, stick around. And don't forget to subscribe because this isn't just prepping, it's survival done smart. Hand-operated water pump. The lifeline you didn't know you needed. When the grid fails and water stops flowing from your taps, most people think, no problem, I've got water stored, but here's the catch. How are you actually going to get that water out of your barrels or jugs? This is where most preppers drop the ball. Enter the hand-operated water pump. A simple, low-tech tool that can make the difference between staying hydrated and struggling to access your own emergency supply. Water barrels are a great idea in theory. They hold gallons of clean water ready for emergencies. But when they're sitting on the ground in your basement or backyard, and there's no faucet pressure to help you, you're left trying to scoop water out with a cup or bucket. Not only is this inefficient, but it's also messy and risks contaminating your entire supply. Imagine having 50 gallons of water but no practical way to use it. That's not just frustrating, it's a survival fail. A manual water pump solves this problem instantly. These hand-operated siphons attach directly to your water barrel or jug, allowing you to extract water with just a few pumps. No spills, no waste, and no risk of contamination. In a survival situation where every drop of water counts, this tool becomes invaluable. It's lightweight, requires no electricity, and has no complex parts that can break down. You can store it in a drawer or emergency kit, and it'll sit there quietly until the day you need it most. But the benefits don't stop there. Think about barter value. While everyone else is scrambling for bottled water, you'll have the ability to access and share water from larger containers. This makes you an asset in any community or survival group. You could trade water extraction for food, medical supplies, or even shelter. And let's not forget hygiene. Whether it's washing hands, cleaning wounds, or rinsing utensils, a manual pump ensures you can dispense water safely without dipping dirty containers into your supply. Bottom line, if you're storing water in barrels, jugs, or any other container, a hand-operated water pump is non-negotiable. It's a $10 tool that could save your life and make you a valuable ally when the world goes dark. Don't wait until it's too late to realize you needed one. 2 reinforced door hinges and screws, your first line of defense. When people think about home security in a collapse scenario, they picture padlocks, cameras, or even firearms. But here's the reality. When there's no electricity, no police, and no one coming to help, your home's physical structure becomes your last line of defense. And most homes, they're shockingly easy to break into. That's why upgrading your door hinges and screws is one of the smartest, most overlooked preps you can make. Here's the problem. Most doors are installed with cheap, half-inch screws that barely hold the frame together. A few kicks or a hard shove, and the door gives way. Now imagine this. You've spent months stockpiling food, water, and medical supplies, only to have it all stolen because your door couldn't hold up. That's not just a loss of resources, it's a threat to your safety. A simple upgrade can change everything. Heavy-duty door hinges and 3-inch screws are game changers. They anchor your door frame securely, making it far more resistant to forced entry. Some kits even include strike plate reinforcements, which distribute the force of a kick or ram across a larger area, reducing the chances of your door failing. This isn't high-tech or expensive, it's basic mechanical protection that anyone can install with a screwdriver in under an hour. And it's not just about your front door. The same principle applies to windows, garage doors, and any other potential entry points. By reinforcing these weak spots, you're turning your home from an easy target into a fortress. In a world where security is everything, this small investment pays off big time. Now, let's talk barter value. While everyone else is focused on food and water, you'll have the tools to make shelters safer. That's not just valuable, it's trust building. People are more likely to trade with someone who can offer real security solutions. A box of screws and hinges might not seem like much now, but in a collapse scenario, it could be worth its weight in gold. The takeaway: don't just prep what's inside your house, prep the house itself. Reinforce your doors, secure your windows, and make sure your shelter can withstand whatever comes its way. Because survival isn't just about having supplies, it's about keeping them. 3. Steel wire roll. The unsung hero of survival gear. When it comes to binding and securing things in a survival situation, most people think of ropes, duct tape, or zip ties. And while those are great for certain tasks, they all have their limits. Ropes fray, duct tape loses its stickiness, and zip ties snap under pressure. That's why a roll of steel wire is one of the most underrated yet essential items you can have in your survival kit. Steel wire is incredibly versatile. It bends, twists, and holds its shape, making it perfect for tasks that require strength and durability. Need to reinforce a makeshift shelter? Steel wire can hold wood beams or metal sheets in place, even during a windstorm. Need to repair a broken gate hinge or secure a tarp? Steel wire does the job without stretching or sagging. It's also heat-resistant, water-resistant, and doesn't degrade over time like nylon cords or natural fibers. But the real magic of steel wire is its ability to handle heavy-duty tasks. You can use it to hang cookware over a fire, set up animal traps, or even repair broken tools and equipment. In a pinch, it can serve as a makeshift lock or reinforcement for a snapped backpack strap. Its applications are endless, and its reliability is unmatched. And let's not forget its barter value. While everyone else is scrambling for paracord or duct tape, you'll have a material that can handle the toughest jobs. Need to trade for food, medicine, or other supplies? Steel wire instantly makes you more valuable. It's the kind of item people don't think about until they desperately need it, and by then it's too late. Here's a pro tip. Look for galvanized steel wire in the 16 to 20 gauge range. It's strong enough for heavy-duty tasks, but still flexible enough to work with easily. Store it in small coils or wind it flat in your bug-out bag. It weighs almost nothing but can literally hold your survival plan together. The sad truth is, most people already have steel wire sitting in their garage or toolbox, but they don't think of it as a survival tool. Don't make that mistake. When the world falls apart, it's not the flashy gear that saves you, it's the simple, reliable tools like steel wire that keep everything running. 4-button cell batteries. The tiny power source that keeps you in the game. When it comes to prepping for a collapse, everyone stocks up on AA, AAA, and maybe even D-cell batteries. But ask someone about button cell batteries like CR2032, and you'll probably get a blank stare. That's a huge oversight. These tiny, unassuming batteries power some of the most critical devices you'll rely on when the grid goes down, and when they die, you'll feel the regret hard. Think about it. Your thermometer, your gun safe's digital lock, your wristwatch, or even the memory settings on your headlamp. All of these rely on button cell batteries. And when that little internal battery dies, the entire device becomes useless. Imagine trying to measure medicine doses on a dead digital scale, or aiming with a red dot sight that no longer works. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they're survival failures. The problem is, button cell batteries aren't as readily available as their AA or AAA counterparts. They're not stocked in bulk at most stores, and people rarely think to buy them until they're already in a crisis. And here's the kicker. Many high-efficiency, long-lasting devices are designed to use button cells because they're compact and stable. But that same compactness makes them easy to overlook when you're prepping. Now, let's talk about their value in a collapse. Picture someone with a dead glucose monitor, a broken medical thermometer, or a wristwatch they desperately need to track time in a blackout. You show up with a pack of fresh CR2032 batteries, and suddenly you're not just trading, you're saving lives. These batteries are small, lightweight, and have a shelf life of up to 10 years if stored properly. That's a massive advantage in a long-term survival scenario. Here's what you need to do. Audit your gear. Check every device you plan to rely on post-collapse, and note what kind of battery it uses. If it's a button cell, stock up now. Store them in moisture-proof containers. Label them clearly and rotate your stock every few years. You can fit hundreds of these batteries in the space of a single deck of cards, so there's no excuse not to have them. Bottom line, while everyone else is focused on the big stuff, don't forget the small things that keep your critical gear running. Button cell batteries might be tiny, but their impact on your survival is huge. Prep them now and you'll be the one everyone turns to when their devices fail. 5. Heavy-duty sewing kit. The tool that keeps everything together. When the world falls apart, having the ability to fix things becomes just as important as having them in the first place. And one of the most overlooked tools in any prepper's arsenal is a heavy-duty sewing kit. This isn't your grandma's cross-stitch set. We're talking industrial-strength needles, waxed thread, denim patches, and even curved upholstery hooks. Because when your gear starts to fail, and it will duct tape alone won't cut it. Think about it. Your survival jacket tears on a branch, your backpack strap snaps under the weight of your supplies, or your tent seam bursts during a rainstorm. In a functioning society, you just replace these items. But in a collapse, there are no replacements. A simple tear or break can leave you cold, wet, and exposed, turning a minor inconvenience into a major survival problem. A proper sewing kit weighs almost nothing and takes up minimal space, but its utility is massive. You can repair clothes, bags, tarps, sleeping gear, hammocks, and even broken straps on water containers or tools. This isn't about aesthetics, it's about survival. A ripped pair of pants in freezing weather isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. A leaky tarp in a storm isn't just annoying, it's a shelter failure. Now, let's talk about barter value. In a post-collapse world, people will desperately need repairs. A torn jacket, a broken shoe, or a ripped bag can be a huge problem when replacements aren't an option. If you have the tools and skills to fix these items, you become an invaluable resource. A simple patch job could be worth food, medicine, or other critical supplies. Here's what you need in your kit: sailmaker's needles, canvas-grade thread, leather repair strips, safety pins, and a small pair of scissors or shears. Add a thimble to protect your fingers when working with heavy fabric, and don't forget to include some basic instructions or practice the skills yourself. There are countless free tutorials online. Learn now, because you won't have time to figure it out when you're in the middle of a crisis. The takeaway: everyone's focused on stockpiling gear, but smart preppers know that gear eventually breaks. A heavy-duty sewing kit isn't just a tool, it's a survival edge that keeps your essentials functional when it matters most. Manual can opener, the key to your emergency food supply. Imagine this. You've stockpiled months' worth of canned food, beans, meat, fruit, the works. But when the grid goes down, you realize your electric can opener is useless, and your cheap manual one breaks after a few days. Suddenly, your entire food supply is locked away in steel cans, and you're left smashing them open with rocks or knives. That's not just frustrating, it's dangerous and inefficient. Here's the reality: most people don't think about the durability of their manual can opener until it's too late. Cheap, plastic-handled openers with flimsy gears are a recipe for failure. And when they break, you're left with a critical problem. Canned food is one of the best survival resources. It's pre-cooked, doesn't need refrigeration, and has a long shelf life. But none of that matters if you can't open the can. A high-quality manual can opener is a game-changer. Look for one with all-metal construction, large grip handles, and a gear-driven cutting wheel. These features ensure it can handle the wear and tear of daily use in a survival scenario. And here's a bonus: many heavy-duty can openers also include a built-in bottle opener. This might not seem like a big deal now, but in a world where bottled water or trade drinks come in sealed containers, it becomes essential. Let's not forget the safety aspect. Trying to open cans with improvised tools is a great way to injure yourself. In a collapse, where medical help is non-existent, a deep cut from a jagged can lid can quickly become life-threatening. A reliable can opener eliminates that risk and makes your life significantly easier. Now, think about barter value. While most people will have canned food, fewer will have a reliable way to open it. Your can opener becomes a tool that turns their supplies into usable resources. That's leverage you can trade for food, medicine, or other essential. Pro tip: don't just buy one can opener, buy 3. Keep one in your kitchen, one in your bug-out bag, and one as a backup or barter item. And test them before you rely on them. Some openers look sturdy but fail under pressure. You want one that cuts through steel like it's butter. The bottom line: prepping isn't just about stockpiling supplies. It's about making those supplies accessible. A manual can opener might seem like a small thing, but in a survival scenario, it's the key to unlocking your food security. Don't overlook it. 7. Wind-up kitchen timer. the analog lifesaver you didn't know you needed. In today's world, we take timekeeping for granted. Smartphones, smartwatches, and digital devices keep us on schedule without a second thought. But what happens when the grid goes down, batteries run out, and all those digital conveniences become useless? That's when a wind-up kitchen timer, a simple, old-school tool, becomes a survival essential. Why does this matter? Timing is critical in a survival scenario. Let's say you're boiling water to make it safe to drink. You need to know when it's been boiling for at least 10 minutes to kill off harmful bacteria. Or maybe you're cooking over an open flame or gas stove. Without precise timing, you risk burning your food or wasting precious fuel. And what about medication? If someone in your group needs timed doses, relying on your internal clock, especially when you're stressed and sleep deprived, is a recipe for disaster. A wind-up kitchen timer solves all of these problems. It's completely analog, requires no batteries, and works in any situation. Just twist the dial, set the time, and let it tick away. When the bell rings, you know it's time to act. It's simple, reliable, and immune to the chaos of a grid-down world. But the uses don't stop there. A timer can help you manage rationed meals, rotate group duties, or time defensive shifts during the night. It's also invaluable for physical drills or training exercises, ensuring everyone gets equal time to rest or work. And let's not forget the psychological benefits. In high-stress situations, your perception of time can warp. Minutes feel like hours, or vice versa. A timer gives you an objective measure, keeping you grounded and focused. Now, let's talk about barter value. In a world where digital tools are dead and people are guessing how long to cook, purify water, or sterilize equipment, a wind-up timer becomes a high-demand item. It's small, durable, and fills a critical need that most people won't think about until it's too late. When choosing a timer, go for quality. Look for one with metal internals, a loud mechanical bell, and a easy-to-read dial. Test it before you rely on it. Cheap timers can be inconsistent or break under heavy use. A good one will last for years, even in rough conditions. Bottom line, when the lights go out and the world descends into chaos, you'll be the one person who still knows exactly when to act. A wind-up kitchen timer might seem old-fashioned, but in a survival scenario, it's a tool you'll be glad to have. 8. Rubber gloves. The barrier between you and disaster. When people think of survival gear, they picture knives, water filters, and maybe even body armor. But one of the simplest, cheapest, and most overlooked items is a box of rubber gloves. These aren't just for washing dishes. They're your first line of defense against infections, contaminants, and hazardous materials in a world where hygiene has broken down. Imagine this: you're treating someone with an open wound. There's blood, dirt, and maybe even signs of infection. In a post-collapse world with no access to hospitals or antibiotics, touching that wound with your bare hands could expose you to bacteria, viruses, or worse. A pair of nitrile or latex gloves creates a barrier, protecting both you and the person you're helping. It's a small step that can make a huge difference. But gloves aren't just for first aid. You'll need them for handling waste, cleaning up spills, foraging in questionable areas, or processing meat and fish. In all these situations, bare hands increase your risk of infection, especially when clean water and soap are in short supply. And let's not forget the less obvious hazards: mold, spoiled food, leaking batteries, and biohazards. Gloves keep your hands the most important tools you have, clean and functional. Now, think about barter value. In a long-term emergency, gloves become a high-demand item. Medical-grade nitrile gloves, in particular, are like gold when someone needs to treat wounds or handle sick family members. While others are scrambling for toilet paper, you'll have a practical, life-saving item to trade. Here's what you need to do. Stock up on gloves in different sizes and types. Nitrile gloves are more durable and chemical-resistant than latex, making them a better choice for survival situations. Store them in a cool, dry place to extend their shelf life. And keep a few pairs in your bug-out bag, first aid kit, and home supplies. The takeaway: rubber gloves might seem like a small, insignificant item, but in a collapse scenario, they're a game changer. They protect you from infections, keep your hands clean, and give you a valuable trade item. Don't underestimate their importance. Pack them now, and you'll thank yourself later. 9. Manual hand whisk. The low-tech kitchen hero. In a world dominated by electric mixers, blenders, and frothers, a manual hand whisk might seem like a relic of the past. But when the grid goes down and every action becomes manual, this humble tool transforms into a survival essential. It's simple, durable, and incredibly versatile, everything you need in a post-collapse world. Let's start with food. In a survival scenario, you'll likely rely on powdered mixes, dehydrated meals, and bulk ingredients like flour, protein powder, and powdered milk. Mixing these evenly is critical. Uneven distribution can lead to wasted food, lumpy textures, or underactivated ingredients. A whisk ensures everything is blended smoothly, making your meals more palatable and efficient. But the whisk's utility doesn't stop at cooking. It's perfect for preparing nutrient drinks, baby formula, medicinal blends, and even powdered antibiotics or electrolytes. A fork or spoon can only do so much, but a whisk, especially a balloon-style one, adds air, evens out consistency, and blends without the need for heat or pressure. It's faster, more effective, and far less frustrating. Durability is another major advantage. A good stainless steel whisk has no moving parts to break, no plastic to melt, and no cords to fray. It's lightweight, easy to clean, and fits in any pack, bug-out bag, or kitchen drawer. In a world where every tool needs to pull its weight, a whisk is a no-brainer. Now, let's talk about barter value. In a long-term crisis, people will get tired of eating dry mixes and unblended sludge. They'll crave variety, texture, and comfort foods, things that feel normal. A whisk lets you provide that. It helps people make better meals, easier medicine, and smoother formulas. That's not just useful, it's marketable. When choosing a whisk, don't go for the cheapest option. Look for a full stainless steel build with thick, flexible wires that can handle dense mixtures. It's a small investment that pays off big in a survival scenario. The bottom line, a manual hand whisk might seem like a luxury. But in a grid-down world, it's a tool of survival. It helps you make the most of your food, keeps your group healthy, and gives you a valuable trade item. Don't overlook it. Pack one now, and you'll be glad you did. Got your essentials covered? Great. But here's the thing. Sometimes it's the unexpected, seemingly ordinary items that end up being game changers in a survival scenario. While the main points we've covered are critical, there are a few bonus items that deserve a spot in your prep kit. These aren't flashy or high-tech, but their versatility and practicality can make all the difference when the chips are down. Let's dive into 3 bonus points that could elevate your survival game. Bonus point 1. Aluminum foil, the survival multi-tool you didn't know you needed. When you think of aluminum foil, you probably picture it wrapping leftovers or lining baking trays. But in a survival scenario, this shiny, lightweight material becomes one of the most versatile tools in your arsenal. It's cheap, compact, and has a seemingly endless list of uses that can make a huge difference when the world goes dark. First, let's talk about cooking. Aluminum foil is a lifesaver when you're working with open flames or makeshift stoves. You can use it to wrap food for roasting, create a makeshift frying pan, or even fashion a lid to trap heat and cook more efficiently. It's also perfect for keeping food warm after cooking, which is critical when you're trying to conserve fuel and avoid reheating meals. But the utility of aluminum foil doesn't stop at the kitchen. Need to signal for help? Its reflective surface can be used to catch sunlight and create a makeshift signal mirror. Want to keep your gear dry? Wrap it in foil for a quick waterproofing solution. You can even use it to fashion a small, temporary container for water or other liquids in a pinch. Aluminum foil also has surprising applications in first aid. Fold it into a flat, sturdy shape, and you've got an emergency splint for a broken finger or a stabilizer for a sprained joint. It can also be used to create a sterile surface for medical tools or to reflect heat back onto a person suffering from hypothermia. And let's not forget its role in fire starting. Crumple it into a small ball and use it to reflect heat back into your fire pit, making your fire burn hotter and more efficiently. Or pair it with a battery and some steel wool to create a spark in an emergency. Barter value? Through the roof. While everyone else is scrambling for duct tape or rope, you'll have a material that can cook, signal, insulate, and repair. A single roll of aluminum foil can be divided into smaller pieces and traded for food, medicine, or other essentials. Pro tip: go for heavy-duty aluminum foil. It's thicker, more durable, and less likely to tear under stress. Store it in a waterproof bag to keep it clean and ready for use. In a survival scenario, this humble kitchen staple transforms into a multi-purpose tool that you'll wonder how you ever lived without. Bonus point 2. Ziploc bags. the unsung hero of organization and protection. Ziploc bags might not seem like a big deal, but in a survival situation, they're worth their weight in gold. These simple resealable plastic bags are lightweight, waterproof, and incredibly versatile, making them an essential addition to any prepper's kit. First and foremost, Ziploc bags are perfect for keeping your gear organized. In a chaotic, high-stress environment, knowing exactly where to find your matches, first aid supplies, or water purification tablets can save you precious time. Use different sizes to separate and label your items, ensuring that everything is easy to locate when you need it most. But organization is just the beginning. Ziploc bags are also excellent for waterproofing. Whether you're crossing a river, caught in a rainstorm, or dealing with high humidity, these bags can keep your essentials dry. Store your phone, maps, or important documents in a Ziploc bag, and you won't have to worry about water damage. They're also great for protecting food from moisture, pests, and contamination. Need to collect and store water? A heavy-duty Ziploc bag can double as a temporary water container. It's not ideal for long-term storage, but in a pinch, it'll do the job. You can also use them to mix powdered drinks, rehydrate dehydrated meals, or even as a makeshift glove for handling messy or hazardous materials. Ziploc bags are also incredibly useful for waste management. In a survival scenario, proper sanitation is critical to prevent the spread of disease. Use Ziploc bags to store trash, human waste, or other biohazards until you can dispose of them safely. This simple step can make a huge difference in maintaining hygiene and preventing illness. And let's not forget their role in barter. While others are struggling to keep their gear dry or their food fresh, you'll have a simple, effective solution to trade. A single box of Ziploc bags can be divided into smaller quantities and used as a high-value barter item. Pro tip: invest in heavy-duty, freezer-grade Ziploc bags. They're thicker, more durable, and less likely to tear under stress. Keep a variety of sizes on hand, from small snack bags to large gallon-sized ones. In a survival scenario, these unassuming plastic bags become an indispensable tool for organization, protection, and trade. Bonus point 3, baking soda. The survival powerhouse hiding in your pantry, baking soda might be one of the most overlooked items in your pantry, but in a survival scenario, it's a true powerhouse. This inexpensive, multi-purpose powder has a wide range of uses that can help you stay clean, healthy, and resourceful when the world falls apart. Let's start with hygiene. In a grid-down situation, access to soap and toothpaste might be limited. Baking soda can be used as a natural alternative for both. Mix it with a little water to create a paste for brushing your teeth or washing your hands. It's gentle, effective, and doesn't rely on any fancy ingredients. You can also use it as a deodorant by applying it directly to your skin to neutralize odors. Baking soda is also a lifesaver when it comes to cleaning. Use it to scrub pots and pans, clean surfaces, or even wash clothes. Its abrasive texture makes it great for removing grime, while its natural deodorizing properties help eliminate unpleasant smells. In a survival scenario where cleanliness is critical to prevent illness, baking soda becomes an invaluable tool. But the benefits don't stop there. Baking soda can also be used for first aid. Apply it as a paste to insect bites, stings, or minor burns to reduce itching and inflammation. It's also effective for neutralizing acid, making it a great remedy for heartburn or indigestion. Just mix a small amount with water and drink it to relieve discomfort, and let's not forget its role in food preparation. Baking soda can be used to tenderize meat, leaven bread, or even make emergency pancakes. It's a versatile ingredient that can help you stretch your food supplies and make the most of what you have. Barter value, high. While others are struggling to find soap, toothpaste, or cleaning supplies, you'll have a single product that can do it all. A small bag of baking soda can be divided into smaller portions and traded for food, medicine, or other essentials. Pro tip: store baking soda in an airtight container to keep it fresh and dry. A little goes a long way, so even a small supply can last for months. In a survival scenario, this humble pantry staple transforms into a multi-purpose tool that you'll rely on again and again.